I wanted to show you today the Mungyo Gallery water-soluble oil pastels. These are a very unique product because, like water mixable oils, they allow you to use water to thin them. Not a common thing when it comes to oil pastels, but gives you a lot of interesting options. So the first thing I just want to show you is how they lay down and how you can use them just as a basic oil pastel. I've got a 140-pound cold pressed watercolor paper here, and I'll tell you that the feel that they have in my hand is really nice. It feels very sturdy, and the shape's good. It has just enough of a post that I can rest it on my hand's index finger, and they go down very buttery. I don't know how much of that we can pick up on camera, but it goes down really nicely. And then I will just jump into some, I think this is a cobalt blue, and see what kind of layering effects we can get there. So you can just see how opaque those are. You know, it almost covers that up completely, which is so nice. These are very pigmented, very, very pigmented. Finally, in terms of just dry use, the pearlescent set is going to give you some options that, well, they're just beautiful. I'll show you some blue here. And when I hit that with some water, you're going to see some really nice effects. I want to make a little bit of a larger patch of this pearlescent because the effect, it's subtle, but it's really, really nice. So I want to make sure that you guys get an opportunity to kind of see it as best as I can. And I have a color chart that I'll show you a little bit later. So that's just how they kind of lay down dry. They work really nicely. They're very opaque. Also, I wanted to show you real quick, the blending tortillon is another thing that you can do, or your finger. They're blendable as much as they are water soluble. So let me just show you that real quick, how you can go in there and get some really nice gradations. They feel so smooth. I mean, they just feel nice in your hand. Okay, so I've got a little aqua stroke brush here, get some water going. And let's just see what happens when we add some water to these. The pigment comes up really, really nice and easily. That blue's pretty powerful. Look at that. And then if I wanted to get wash effects, you can see as the pigment slowly starts to dissipate, you can see that the gets almost like it's a weird watercolor oil pastel effect. So unique. So you can actually have layers built up and then have it kind of slowly gradate out into something smoother. Very, very cool. I've never worked with a product quite like this before. And then let me come up here and just show you what a nice purple I could pull out from that magenta color. And then the pearlescent colors, let's see what happens when we hit this with some water, okay? Now, I'm going to probably angle this to the camera a little bit so that hopefully we can catch some light in case you're not seeing at home the pearlescent effect. But like I said, I'll show you a color chart in just a second. But just, you see how nicely it just dissolves? I mean, it's water solubility. So there's kind of that pearlescent sheen you get with them. And this is a blue. I mean, there's metallic colors, you know, gold, silver, bronze, and all those in the set as well. But let me show you those color charts, and you can kind of get a good idea of what they would look like laid down wet versus dry. So we've prepared this one here, and this is of the 24 color. So there's a 24 color basic set, a 24 color pearlescent set, and then a 12 color set. This is the 24 color basic set, and these are the colors dry. And then if you were to take this and then add water, voila. And you can see the various transparencies and how well they just go down. They go down very nicely. Have a nice, I would say, pretty matte finish, but very comparable, wet or dry, to the opacity, which is nice. And then I will show you those pearlescents real quick. and you can see wet versus dry. And this, let's see if we can just do a side by side there, one over the other. The pearlescents I feel really shine after the water. Like there's still a pearlescent effect, don't get me wrong, when they're dry, but after the water you could really see that sheen if you pick that up. And then lastly, just a couple of other things that you can do with any kind of water soluble, you know, pencil, pen, crayon. I'll just show you. I'll pre-wet the paper here, give it a good wash, and then show you, let's see, take a, can never choose the color. Take this red, and so this is a dry oil pastel on wet paper. And you can see it's like, it goes down really nicely. The color, I mean, even smoother. It's like writing on ice. It's very nice. And then the other thing you can do as a technique, and I will grab a violet here, dry paper, dipping it directly in water, and the effect you get doing that. These are just different little techniques and tips that you can use to experiment and have fun and do your own kind of experiments and projects and have fun with them. So these are the Mungyo water-soluble oil pastels. Thanks so much for watching.